Should people who smoke or vape pay higher taxes? That's a question Congress could debate as the House returns to Washington, D.C. today for the first time in more than a month.
Our Joe St. George will look now at the funding debate and how new tobacco taxes could break a campaign promise of President Biden.
Everybody knows smoking and vaping can be bad for you, yet millions of Americans do it. Around 34 million adults in our country currently smoke cigarettes, and at least 10.8 million American adults are currently using e-cigarettes. But as the House of Representatives returns to Washington for the first time in a month Monday, there is a renewed push to increase the federal taxes on these vices to generate revenue for President Biden's multi-trillion-dollar spending bill.
Supporters of this say this will further discourage Americans from smoking, but critics say it will break a promise President Biden made to not raise taxes on the middle class.
People up and down the income ladder smoke.
Richard Auksher studies nicotine taxes at the Tax Policy Center. He says tobacco taxes would impact all Americans and at some level go against this tweet President Biden sent last week. If you make under $400,000, my Build Back Better agenda won't raise your taxes a cent. The White House disagrees and says it wouldn't violate any campaign promise because it doesn't involve personal income. Regardless, the current plan in Congress would create a first-ever federal tax on e-cigarettes and raise the current federal tax on cigarettes, making tobacco and nicotine products about $1 to $2 more expensive. Democrats estimate $100 billion would be raised over the next 10 years. But as Auksher points out, there are a lot of uncertainties.
Currently, every time you increase cigarette taxes, you get more revenue. But there is a chance that at a certain point, if the tax succeeds, you would get fewer people smoking and not get as much revenue as you're possibly thinking you'll get.
The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids estimates enacting this tax would result in 1.1 million fewer smokers in the first year, a benefit supporters say is worth the tax controversy. This proposed nicotine tax will likely be scrutinized even further over the coming days as Congress tries to pass a spending bill in the coming weeks. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.